Hey, everybody in the dental world. Welcome to Dent, the micro podcast, where Matthew and I, bring you people from the dental industry who have affected our lives greatly, who we believe can affect your lives greatly, and you need to know. Today's special guest is a periodontist. He's a past president of the American Academy. He is past president of the Northeast Perio Society, past president of New Jersey's Society of Periodontology, ex-military, or I guess once military, always military. But he happens to be the person who is responsible for getting me back in a dental chair decades ago. The guy, me, who's worked in the dental industry for 25 years, 30 years, was a confirmed dentophobe. And it was due to a massive casework that I had done, and it just changed my behavior. I thought I could do everything at home, but he is a noted global key opinion leader, speaker, author, faculty member. We are honored to have on Dent with us Dr. Wayne Aldredge. Wayne,
welcome, Dr. Wayne Aldredge.
Well,
the man, the myth, the legend.
A brief introduction. I don't know how to top that. Very kind words, but thank you, Michael and Matt, for having me on Dent. I'll keep it very brief then. Through my core, I'm a Jersey guy. Born and bred in New Jersey, went to school, Rutgers Dental School. The highlight of my Army career was being an Army dentist and a captain at West Point. Then went back to school at Stony Brook out on Long Island, a little junction out on the island. But my heart brought me back to New Jersey. I've been a private practitioner for the past 25 years plus. And I think my biggest honor and the thing I cherish most is that my son, Parker, is a Air Force dentist now. He's serving at Langley Air Force Base in a residency program. And I send him, as they say, thank you for your service. And I send my love to my son. So without further ado, that's me in a nutshell.
Excellent. Well, that's a big nutshell that I wouldn't want to crack.
Yeah, I don't know where he finds time to do everything, but I'm still dealing with the fact that Parker is a practicing dentist. I remember him as just a tow-headed, blonde, skinny kid who was good at sports. That was it.
Yeah. Now he's carrying on in the family tradition, I guess we say.
God bless and keep you safe.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So, I'm going to come back to that in a second. Let's just sort of give you the, as we get to know you a little bit, and Mike knows you obviously, and I know you a little bit, but the people who are listening may not know you at all. Tell us a little bit about, how you got here today. Like what got you into dentistry, and what are the key factors that made you this private practice periodontist extraordinaire?
It's a very broad question.
Right. Good luck.
I've always found that, and I'll tell my boys, and when I teach at the residency programs, my mentorship was given to me, and I share that down through the years. Do what you love. Dentistry, 40 years of it, it's too long to do something if you don't love it. And that's everything from helping people save their smiles so they can chew and actually smile for a lifetime. And if you think of it from that basicness, that human basic right of being able to chew your own food and smile, I mean, we're given an opportunity through our careers to help people. And I say, it's that simple. If you keep life simple and you do it for the right reasons, you'll be happy. You make people happy. And I think that's what brought me to where I'm at today. A great question, though, but thank you, Matt.
And did you, and was your dad a dentist? So many people, from the era we're talking about, right? Became dentists in the 80s, 90s. It was their dads or their family that was somehow in it. How did you get into dentistry?
So I'm sort of the unicorn. I'm not the one whose parents were dentists. Right. But I will say what you're saying is 100% true. When I was in dental school, there were so many children of dentists, be it male or female dentists. It was more there all the time than I was the exception with some others. Quite frankly, my college roommate went to dental school. I thought I would be a pharmaceutical rep working in the trades somewhere. And, Terry, his name was Terry Fay, God bless him. His brother was a dentist. And so I went with Terry several weekends during my junior year in college. We visited his brother, saw how he practiced. And I got to be honest with you, it took off. But Matthew, what you're talking about is my son. He's the son of dentists. And, he sees what goes on and sees what you do for people. And I'm really happy and proud to say he's following in the family footsteps, as his mother is a dentist also. So there's a good grasp there. And she knew when she was 8 or 10 years old, she wanted to be a dentist. So
wow.
My father, go ahead.
No, you go. Your father, tell us about your dad.
So my dad, probably one of the hardest working men I've ever known. So when I grew up, I went to the warehouse with him. We got there at 4:35 in the morning. We worked till 4 in the afternoon at $2.80 an hour. So, where I'm at now is a blessing. He showed me the value of hard work, and that's trying what I show my kids. Without putting in the time, you won't go anywhere in this world. When I look at you, Matt and Mike, you guys put in the effort and the time to get where you're at within your professions. It's not given to you in this world. You have to spend the time. You have to become a professional at what you do, which means you have to be an expert. And to be an expert, at least according to Malcolm Gladwell, if you've read any of his books, you got to put in 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
That's how you become an expert. And that's what you guys have done to be at the pinnacle of your careers.
Right.
Wow.
Well, it's your point is excellent. And, dentistry is one of those, and this is a whole other podcast some other time, which is that it has grown to be, it's no longer this small little cottage industry where everyone in its family was in it or a best friend or somebody. It's now, it's so big and there's so much going on. People are coming from all over the place, which is great. It's pushing this industry forward in so many different ways, companies in and people who wouldn't otherwise think about it. So it's fantastic in that sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in, totally change gears. That's the pace of Tendent here. Wayne, I know you well. You're a brother, but the one thing that always amazed me about you, and I think our friendship was based on it, was my MBA is 100 years old, and you were truly the specialist, the dentist, who I saw consuming the latest, greatest in tech in business. Now, still to this day, business acumen is not a part of dentists' curriculum during dental school. I mean, I teach a class at UMDNJ on some marketing things. Two-part question. What drove you to be this consumer of state-of-the-art tech, up-to-date business practice? And part B of that is, for decades now, you and I have traded business books, and we each have libraries that we've created for each other on New Now Next. Please give our audience what book has recently affected you or really changed the way you incorporate it into your private practice.
Okay, so we'll say number 2 is book, right? And number 1 was just how do I look at technology?
Yeah, what got you into tech, and what sort of keeps you there? What drives you?
Why do you keep going after the business side when you're such a phenomenal clinician as well? What drives you to do that?
Well, I would say it's multifactorial. So, for one, as a periodontist, I mean, the old vision of a periodontist is, you're going to the periodontist, it's going to hurt. You'll be better, but it's going to hurt. So I look at technology as ways to affect change in a patient, sort of like medicine has. What can we do that's minimally invasive? What technologies out there that I can use? So one of those would be the wand. The wand is, computerized dental anesthesia. It costs a few $1,000s for each machine, but I put one in each of my rooms. I'll say 80% of patients are fine without the wand. They're great. They're fine with conventional anesthesia with a dental needle. But for those 10% or 20%, I want to make it as comfortable an experience for them. They're still going to feel a pinch. I don't misguide people. I always say I'm middle of the road conservative. If you need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't. But I want to make that experience as comfortable as I can. because I want you to keep your teeth. I want you to chew and smile. And it's not a comfortable procedure. I always tell people too, it's like, you're going to go have open heart surgery. People get that every day all around the world. Doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, but they want to live. So they make it as best they can for that. And I think we try and do the same with periodontal surgery, with dental lasers, or the pinhole gum grafting technique, which is more minimally invasive. I mean, why don't we follow the medical model more? And that's how I tried to gear my practice. So I hope that answers.
Well, it sure does. And, minimally invasive is a whole other podcast, right? Because minimally invasive has been around. Well, you would know more than me. I'm going to just say a while, 20 years, 15, 20 years. I mean, I don't know. It could have been longer than that, but people weren't really talking about it because there either wasn't the technique, the procedure, or the technology wasn't there. But now there's a lot that can be done with keeping, tooth structure or keeping more intact. And is it, why are we fighting it still? Is it because the training was all before minimally invasive and now it's like got to learn something new and it's not worth learning?
Or has the technology caught up?
Yeah.
I would say it's a combination of what you're both saying, because minimally invasive, as I recall going back to 20 plus years, it was always taking a tooth out. Oh, we're going to take this out atraumatically. I don't know. You're taking a tooth out. There's trauma there.
Right.
They don't just fall out in your hand. It's not, buttercup here with a little tissue and you're just gently removing it. Don't misguide people. I always tell people, once you're numb, you're not going to feel anything. Some pressure, some water spray. If you start feeling any pain, we'll give you more Novocaine. I remember in dental school, there were instructors, and I think we trained with some of the best at New Jersey. But it was, I use a half a carpule to get somebody numb for filling. I'm like, I use 3. I want you numb. I'm not saving $4, right?
Right.
So I look at that. Once you're numb, it should just be like you're sitting in a chair, just, your mouth is open.
Yeah.
It's still not the greatest thing in the world, but you get to save your teeth, you get to smile, you get to chew. And now people are living to be 90, 100, 110 years old. I gotta tell you, when I'm in that home one day, all I want to do is have my own teeth so I can chew the food. I may not be able to think or remember things, I'm making light of it, but I want to have teeth, and I think that's what my patients want. We save teeth when we can and replace them with dental implants when it's necessary.
Well, I'm going to chime in with the pure genius here. Matthew, you and I are creative marketing strategy people. Wayne's URL, and he owns many web addresses and redirects them to his site. But this is just brilliant, and I got to give him props. iSaveTeeth.com.
Yeah. Well,
that's what distinguishes him. He took the risk. He went outside of his comfort zone. And I mean, what a great URL. I've tried to buy it from him and he said no, but that's what I think distinguishes him from so many. He understands consumer behavior as well.
Right. Well, and that's what, that's what your consumer wants, right? The patient, they don't really want to know how the sausage is made, maybe, but they want to know that that you make a good sausage. And if you can't make the sausage, you're going to do the next best thing, and you're looking out for them, right? That's what we, as consumers in healthcare, we just believe that the doctor knows way more than we do. Please take care of me. Do the best by me.
And thank you, Matt. I totally agree with that. And one word I use a lot with my team, and this is the internal team of my office manager, my staff, it's transparency.
Yeah.
If you're diabetic and you're uncontrolled, maybe an implant is not the best thing for you. Let's do things that are going to be predictable and that can last as long as possible. But I know one thing. Once we take a tooth out, we can never put it back. Right. So I try and save teeth. Not at the expense of getting an implant down the road, but save the tooth, because I'm getting old. But say I'm 50 years old. I can save that tooth for 15 to 25 years. Now I'm 75. But if I take that tooth out when I'm 50, and dental implants can have concerns and problems, a tooth can get gum disease, a dental implant can get gum disease. You still have to maintain things. They don't get cavities, which is great. But I'd rather know that if there's going to be a problem, I'd rather push that down the road another 20 or 30 years, keep my own tooth, and have transparent conversations with my patients.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Okay, well, we got to start to land this airplane. So, and this is a question that we sort of end with everybody: is if you could change one thing in dentistry, what would you do? And you can't use your magic wand and put Novocaine on it. You have to actually make a change in dentistry here.
So it's not change of dentistry of inventing a topical.
Yeah, no, it could be
anesthesia?
that already exists. Like, what would you think big here? Like, what would you see every day, or you hear over and over?
It's debt. It's cost. A dentistry has a cost to it. There's basic dentistry, which people want in certain areas, but in most parts of America, we want a broad, white, happy smile. And, that could encompass 10 veneers on your teeth. Those could be $2,200 a piece. That's $22,000. That may last 8 to 12 years. So cost has become a barrier to healthcare, not only on the medical side, but we're seeing that now transition to the dental side.
Right.
But at the same time, when we talk about cost, we also talk about debt. When I was president of the American Academy of Perio X number of years ago, in front of the American Dental Association, they brought in a student who at the time had $1 million of debt. This is a dental student, not a dentist who graduated yet, but $1 million of debt. How does that define their life as a practitioner? So money has many different aspects, but that's what I liked about the military. Money was never a concern. It was always the highest level of care, so our soldiers could be the most fit to do the best for Americans. So if we go back to that concept for everything across the country, I think we'd have a much better dental healthcare system.
We're going to make America smile again.
Make America smile.
As an aside, thank you for your service. And
of course, yes.
I know West Point's rugby program thanks you for your coaching as well. But no, Wayne, we're going to have you back on one of our dais ones. There's way too much we want to continue, but we wanted to showcase the people that are making a difference, not just in my life, our lives, but I've seen residents literally transform under you, feel empowered. I've seen patients leave incredibly happy. You do it right. I know you're human, but more people need to attend your lectures, your educational events, and honored beyond belief to have you on Dent.
And that is going to be, I agree. And that's going to be, I think, our next topic when we do another one is going to be mentoring. Like, because I have a feeling you are an extraordinary mentor, and your mindset and your thinking and the way you sort of were raised and your sort of work ethic, that transfers to younger generations, not automatically, because I don't know. Nothing does, right? And it's nothing. I'm not judging younger generations. I'm just saying someone like you is a mentor that sort of gives them that solid foundation of hard work pays off, right? And you've got to start there and you build upon it. The clinical you can learn, but if you don't work hard, all the clinical in the world's not going to save you.
Agreed.
Perfect statement. And thank you both for giving me this opportunity.
You're the best.
Thank you.
This is going to be a big rager. Thank you, Wayne. Everybody, please like and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, tell your friends about it. Put it on your social media. Dent, bringing relevant people in the world of dentistry to you and talking about it.
Yep.
Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Matthew.
Thanks, Dr. Aldredge.
You're welcome, guys. Be well.